Hey everybody, and welcome to this brief tutorial on how to create a trifold flyer and some basic graphics elements to get images and color into your flyer. First thing we need to do is to get the actual page set up. You're going to go up here to Layout, click on that, and we're going to need to change the page from vertical portrait to horizontal landscape. So do that. You want to narrow your margins, so I click on Margins and go to Narrow to give myself more space. And then it's a trifold, so I want to make sure I have 3 columns. Next thing you need to think about is the gutters that you have where the folds are. Double click on that and it'll bring up one of those gray spaces. It'll bring up this columns pane. And what you do is you increase the spacing of the gutters to 1 inch. And that way, even though it looks lopsided, when you fold it, you'll have a 1/2 inch margin on the right here, as well as on this side. If you don't, it'll look lopsided when you fold it. So this will keep everything nice and even. Now with a trifold, you're going to have 2 pages, basically, or 2 sides of the same page, basically. And so to include another page, you go up here to Insert, and you click on Pages over here on the left, and you click on Page Break. And so now you have 2 pages. You have one with 3 columns where we can put some information on the different pages, and then you're going to have like the inside of the flyer down here. But the question is, where do I put the information? Like, in what order does the trifold flyer unfold? So what I do is I actually take a piece of paper and I trifold it like a letter. And I write, excuse me, and I write front on that side. I write back on the back. And then as I open the front, I write first flap right there, because this will be as you open up the leaflet, this will be the first page that they see. And then as you open up all 3, you have inner left here, inner middle, and inner right. And so I label the actual Word document, or at least I have this with me so I remember where everything goes as I'm creating it digitally. Okay, so now that we have the basic setup, a couple of other skills that I want you to know is how to get things like kind of set up to look nice in your flyer. So the first thing I want you to know how to do is, as I go back here, is how to include text. So, I'll just copy some and paste some text in there, some filler text. I'm going to make this nice and square by justifying. There we go. Now, right now, my whole flyer is just a large white page with some text on it. So if you want to incorporate a little bit of color into your flyer, maybe you want to emphasize an element, you have your text here. I'm just going to highlight this paragraph right here. So what I want to do is insert a shape. So I'm going to insert this shape right here, and I'm going to go to square. So click on square. Give me this little plus sign, and I'm going to go around and highlight all of that text. Okay, now you'll notice that it covers all of my text with a blue box, but I don't want the blue box in the way because I want to be able to see the text. So what I can do is right click on this shape, and where it says send to back, you can send it to back, or another thing you can do, because sometimes it won't read that as far as text, it'll only send it backwards with other shapes. So you can select send behind text, and you'll see that now the blue box is behind my text. But I pasted this text into the flyer. And so now you'll notice that it's all white on top of the blue and it looks hideous. So what I want to do is highlight all of that in a little function in case something looks funky or something seems to be wrong with it or you can't get it to work. Sometimes what you need to do is clear the formatting. So what I've done is I've highlighted that text and I come up here where there's the A with a little eraser next to it, and I'm going to clear that formatting. And so now it looks, it's all blue behind it. And but a little tab down here. Well, what I can do is just increase the size of the shape to cover all of that text. And if the color isn't right, you select the shape again. You come up here where it says Format, and you can change the color fill right here in order to lighten it. So I just want something nice and light in order to make it pop. Okay. Now let's say, so I've got my shape here. Also with my shape, I noticed that there's like this, it's a dark line. I don't want that. So I'm gonna select my shape and Format, Shape Outline, No Outline. So now it is just that orange color around my text. So now the next thing that I need to be able to do is to incorporate an image into my flyer. So I'm going to go down here. Let me shrink that a little bit again. There we go. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to hit enter, enter, and I want to put a picture below this. So there's a couple of ways to do that. The first one, if you just want to insert like a square shaped or rectangular shaped image that you already have on your computer, you click insert, you select pictures, it'll bring up some options for you. You click on pictures, and I'm going to choose Hawaii because my flyer is like a tourist flyer, tour guide for Hawaii. So I'm going to put that in there, and then I can type below it. Now, let's say you have an image that you want to cross over one of the folds, for example, like you want something to span across the folds. What you can do is click on this. When you hover over the image, you'll notice that, and you click on it, this little guy pops up. I oftentimes will use this tight text wrapping. And what that allows me to do is it gives me a lot of freedom to move my image around and to kind of put it anywhere on the page. And I can go over the gutter if I want. I can have it just lined up with the text. I can cut text up with my image. It gives you a lot of freedom. So select type for text wrapping, and it'll save you a lot of headaches. The last thing that I want to show you how to do, in case you want to break things up, because everything just looks so boxy and there's so many squares. Well, another thing that you can do is you can insert a shape and then put a picture into that shape. So I'm going to go to insert shapes again. And this time I'm going to choose a circle, or an oval, excuse me, because it might not be a perfect circle. And I'm going to put that circle in there. I'm going to select that the tight wrapping again. That way I'll be able to move it where I need to. And you'll notice again, it's just blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select an image to be able to put in there. I'm going to go shape fill. I drop down and I can fill the shape with a picture. Now I can, like the picture of Hawaii that I got up here, I can do that from a file from my computer, or I can select an online picture. So let's see what it looks like there. If you're using Word, it'll automatically take you to the Bing. And so let's see what happens if I type in Hawaii for my online pictures. Oh, I get this beautiful sunset image with some palm trees. I think that just screams Hawaii. So I'm going to select this image right here, and I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to click insert. And you'll notice, isn't that pretty? Now you have a shape that has an image in it. If there's an outline that you don't like, you click on it again, you go shape outline, and you just say no outline. Now it's just an image, a picture perfect image for you to put on your flyer, your tour guide for Hawaii. So those are some basic skills to figure out where stuff goes, to put in text, to put color behind text, to insert images, and to insert images into shapes. I hope that this helps, and we very much look forward to seeing your flyers. Thank you.